Okay, now we will discuss about the syllabus for your English, which is your second language. The name of the book is your Beehive and Moments. All right. So from here you would look that in class 9 the theory will still be 90, the internal assessment will be 10, your written pass mark for written examination theory will be 27, and you would have your assessment on practicals as well. So here if we would look nicely, we would see that uh, your exam will still have the same 3 hours both for 9 and 10, and then your pass mark would be 30. Here you would see that the section A will carry 10 marks, and that would be reading comprehension, and you will get 2 prose passages. That means you will get 2 paragraphs, which is one which is seen. That means it would be taken from your textbook, and another which would be unseen, which is from any other source. It would be a paragraph, and there will be questions on those paragraphs, and you would need to answer those questions. Probably there will be 5 to 6 questions. If it is 5, 2 marks each. If it's 6, there will be one question which has 1 mark. Then this part B would be writing and translation, amplification, articles, story writing, notice writing, report writing. So among these, for those who are doing the Karbi Anglong syllabus, you would not need to do your translation or amplification. There would be articles that you need, article, story, notice writing, or report writing, and that would carry 16 marks. And your grammar portion, you would have tense, means how to correct or insert the correct tense of the words, the use of passive voice. I am not so sure whether active voice would be used, but it would be good if you study it. And then word order, which means that mixed sentences. Then narration, preposition. Narration would be your direct and indirect speech. And then your preposition, which is dealing with, determiners, almost like determiners. I will be teaching this in some videos that I will be making. Then your adjectival degrees of comparison, then question patterns. And your literature textbook, which would be your Beehive, then you have, in your prose, you have 3 chapters. The Fun They Had, The Sound of Music, and My Childhood, 4 chapters, and A Visit to Kaziranga and Sifsagar. In your poetry section, still again from Beehive, you would have The Road Not Taken, The Lake Isles of Innisfree, A Legion of the Northland. And then you will get your supplementary reader from Moments. It would be The Adventures of Toto and The Happy Prince. And you can see the marks here. If you take a screenshot of this and save it in your phone, you would be able to see what you need to do as a breakup. And then we move on to your English IL. This is still for class 9. We will deal with class 10 in a while. And in your English IL, you will have the last leaf as your prose, the last leaf, a truly beautiful mind, and reach for the top, which would carry 25 marks. So you have the last leaf, a truly beautiful mind, and reach for the top. Number 2, you'll have your poetry section, which would be on killing a tree, wind, and rain on the roof, which would carry for 10 marks. Then there would be grammar portion for class 9, which would be question text. Then you'll have vocabulary section, which is 3 of them, and degrees of comparison. And if you notice, there is 9 marks there, which means that each of them would carry 3 marks. Then again, you will have comprehension of an unseen prose passage, which means it will not be taken from any of the textbooks. It will be an unseen prose passage. So from that prose passage, you probably will get 5 to 6 questions where you would have to answer those questions, and they will probably give you one word meaning, and then you would need to see that word meaning from the text. So this is the part of your English in lieu of in lieu of language, MIL, which is, that's why it's called your English IL. And here the distribution of marks would be 4 essay types of questions from Unit 1, 1 reference to the context from any of the prose lessons from Unit 1, 3 short answer type questions from each poem that you have learned here. All right, here there are 3 poems there, and you would need to write 3 short answer type questions, 1 from each poem, which would carry a mark weightage of 3 plus 2 plus 2 of Unit 2. All right, and 3 very short types of objective type of question from any 2 poems, which will carry 3 marks. We are talking about number 3. And for grammatical items, isolated sentences are to be used, and they will give you some isolated sentences. It could be of any that deals with determiners, that deals with prepositions, and that deals with your tenses, your articles. So that will be 9 marks. And for comprehension passage, the difficulty level will be correlated, that means adjustable with your class 9 level knowledge of English. And the textbooks would be Beehive and Moments. So please take screenshots of this for class 9. This is one screenshot you need to take, and another one is, this is the next screenshot you need to take, and you would need to look at the breakup of the marks and how it is asked. Now, moving on to class 10. Class 10, this will be included for your, this is the revised course content for your exam, HSLC examination that will happen in 2021, next year. So you need to be prepared from now, and you have a few sections here that you need to look at, and it has a 90 mark theory. Internal assessment is 10 marks. Your pass mark is 27 for your written examination, and 3 marks for your internal assessment, and the total will be 30 marks. There it is. So firstly, you would be getting reading and comprehension, 2 prose passages. Prose means written paragraphs, and 1 which is seen, that could be taken from any of your English textbook, and the other one which is unseen could be a passage from any stories that the board would choose, and you would have either 5 or 6 questions there that would carry a total of 10 marks. Then in the writing for the Karbi Anglong board, translation and will be out, but then you have to write substance in the prose. Then you have to either choose an essay or a story, and there will be a letter writing and a report writing. So you would see substance writing would be 6 marks, essay or short story writing would be 6 marks, and your letter writing would be, or report writing would carry 5 marks. So that's a huge mark there, which is 17 for your writing section. And in your grammar portion, all the grammar portions of class 9, which means that you would need to look at class 9. That's why I've kept it here. This is the grammar portion of class 9, including these which are here: determiners, tense forms, all right, voice, that means active and passive voice, narration, that means direct and indirect speech, prepositions, vocabulary, synthesis of sentences, that means combining the sentences, and verb phrases and sentence correction using your clauses and modals. And then you go on to look at this as 20 marks for your grammar. Then we have the literature section. The literature section would be from your first flight, and your units that are included for this exam, which is your HSLC exam, would be A Letter to God, Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, and Glimpses of India. Just three of them, and it would carry 15 plus 6, which is 21 marks. Letter to God and Nelson Mandela will be 5 marks, could be 7 plus, would be 7 plus 8 or 8 plus 7. But Glimpses of India is 6 marks. Then you have your poetry section, which is A Tiger in the Zoo, The Tale of the Custard, the Tale of the Custard Dragon, it should be. Then you have animals. You need to learn these poems in the sense that whatever questions and answers are there. Then moving on to your supplementary reader, which is the name Footprints Without Feet, then you would have The Midnight Visitor and Footprints Without Feet, which are your two texts that you would need to study the questions therein with all the NCRT questions, which would carry 10 marks. And as you see, the total there is 90. So that is all for your class 10 English second language. But then you have to move on to your English IL, which is this one, class 10. Prose section would be A Baker from Goa, The Proposal, The Thief's Story, which carries a full marks of 25. So 3 prose sections are important there, and you would need to study them because this would be what the questions would come from for your HSLC finals. And then the poetry section would be Dust of Snow, How to Tell Wild Animals, and The Trees, which carry 10 marks. Grammar section, in the IL section, all the grammar portion of class 9 and the following. So you need to look at the grammar portion of class 9, which is this one, in the IL section of class 9. These are included, would be included for class 10. So do not just study this portion of your IL, this one. Do not study only this portion, but you would need to take a screenshot of the English IL of your grammar portion from class 9 as well. That's why I've put and clubbed this together in the video. So then here you would see that apart from the sections of grammar that are in the English IL section for class 9, you would have narration, which is direct and indirect speech, voice, which is active and passive voice, and miscellaneous corrections of sentences where you have to spot the error and write the correct sentence. That would carry 9 marks, and each of them would carry a weightage of 3 marks for narration and for voice and miscellaneous respectively. Then in the composition section, which carries quite a huge mark, which is 6 marks, you have to write the substance of either a prose or a piece of a poem, which would be given as a substance writing. And it would be the same, but you need to write the substance. And then the substance writing, the way that you need to understand what is substance writing means that you would need to read the text of the poetry and write the substance of what you understand, what the prose or what the poem is telling you. You will be further learning this. You will be learning further of this from videos that I will be putting up in my video channel. So please do not forget to subscribe. Please do not forget to share to your friends. I am sure many of them there are still confused what will come or what are the units that we need to study. And see, for example, many may not know that the grammar portion will be included of the grammar portion in class 9 as well as in 10, both for English language as well as English IL. So that's an important note to know. And then the distribution of marks for your English IL will be taken, firstly the text will be taken from first flight, and footprints without feet. And there you will have 4 essay types of questions from 3 lessons of Unit 1, which means that there will be four questions which are from the 3 lessons of Unit 1. And what is that Unit 1? It is this Unit 1. Not the Unit 1 in your, this is the Unit 1, all right? And then the Unit 2. So don't be confused with that. You will have, from those 3 units, you will have 4 questions which are 5 marks each. So when you see 4, it means the number of questions, and 5 means the mark weightage. So 4 into 5 would give you 20 marks. There will be 1 reference to the context from any of the lesson in Unit 1 again, and reference to the context means they will give a sentence or a narration or a quotation from the text which is in the book, and then they will ask you to write the reference to the context. Then you would need to remember who said it, from which chapter, from which unit was it taken, and all that. So that will carry a weightage of 7 marks. Then you'll have 3 very short type questions which are objective types of questions from any of the 2 poems that you, from any of the 2 poems, means any 2 of these poems, which is out of 3, all right, and it will be for 3 marks. For grammatical items, isolated sentences are to be used. And what are these isolated sentences? It could be anything ranging from tenses to narration to voice and prepositions and all that. All right, and even perhaps they might even put in a question tag or 2, or a mixed sentence, or a correction of sentences. Now for substance writing, which is your composition part, writing the prose poem must be written, all right, with the difficulty level which is applicable to your level of class 10. So you need to study the previous questions, you need to look at how it is and go into your studies and research your work so that you would get a complete 6 marks in your substance writing. So that is all that you would need to do repeatedly. I would like to mention that here in this video you are looking at class 9 and class 10 English language as well as English IL, and please remember the grammar portion for class 10, it also includes the grammar portion that is from class 9. All right, only the grammar portion. The rest remains the same. Take screenshots of this, and then all the best for your exam. Please hit the like button. Please hit the notification button so that we can send you notification, and do subscribe and encourage your friends to subscribe so that they will be notified of any further changes. Thank you.